Hey guys, somebody's gun here. This video is going to be breaking down every single win of every single game in the NAE DreamHack Grand Finals. We had 7 different winners and we're going to go through how each game was won and show you what you can take away from it. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Thank you for watching. Let's get right to it. And I think we're just going to watch the winning POV every game. So we'll watch like from mid game to end game how that person plays and how they got that win. That's basically as good as them getting the zone because they have trees for cover. This is a free rotate in the next zone. Like really well timed because they noticed the team above was just full spraying. And Zayt does that so quickly. So we have Benji and Zayt here on the high ground. And Zayt's going to go ahead, tarp ahead, reclaim a new height. So Benji holds old height here. Zayt then grabs the other height and then cranks up. And then quickly Benji's going to follow. This is how you want to do it. Because if you tarp out, I mean, this is probably an extra 10, 15 builds. But what you don't want to do is leave Benji over on this side himself, because then he gets stuck. But the bounce pad, hopefully Benji has a bounce pad himself. We can even check. So he does have a bounce pad in case something goes wrong. And I would always recommend splitting the bounce pads between your two teammates so you can make plays like this. But Zayt reclaims height, and you don't want to leave either teammate alone for too long, because otherwise someone can retake height on them. And you see them, they're double layering, sticking fairly close together. But even though they're together, this is 2 different angles. So Zayt has one, Benji has another angle, and this allows them to put pinch pressure on teams that are on second height, and then also get the most information possible. This is just a simple 2v1 v2. I shouldn't say simple. This is really well played here by Benji, and kind of poorly played from the other team. That was a sick flick. So MackWood has a chance to shoot at like a different player. Like he gets a knock there. That player accidentally throws him. And MackWood could be shooting at this player that's already up, right? But he knows, 1, he wants to get a Z-Lim. That's points. You got to secure the points. And then 2, get your Storm Surge damage. That other player is going to be able to shoot back. That downed bodies, they're going to go down. Make sure you get damage on that because that counts. And go straight for high ground. Okay. What? So either way, we know that MackWood is able to sneak up on high ground just like he got snuck. So that clearly is an issue. If you're on high ground, these aren't going to work. You got to look, because this is now 2 games in a row where we have someone just essentially walk up. We can guess basically the same exact play that Zayt and Saf made. Not Zayt and Saf. Zayt and Benji. Jeez, it's like drilled into my brain. Those 2 play together. But just bouncer, take height, wait for your opponent to build, or your teammate to build up. He's secured height, then follow him. And this is so smart. Using the bouncers, you see no one's contesting height. No one's trying to take it. The only way that someone could have taken height from them here would have been bouncing forward and cranking before Khanada and MackWood went ahead and did it themselves. But they quickly grab the early front edge of zone and crank up, spend so much less mats, and then get ahead. So he identifies a knock and then harpoons it up. Instead of like just trying to limit and harpoon the loot, he harpoons the body up so he can secure all of the loot instead of just grabbing a little bit. That is such a smart play, because now he gets everything as opposed to just whatever that single harpoon shot would get. And then you just hold shotguns out because you have no builds. Nice play by Day to get the sneak, but that's not going to be enough, and MackWood just splashes this win. There's nothing Skittles could do. You know, 6 splashes is going to give you, what is that, 12 ticks in Storm plus whatever HP you have. You're not out healing that. That was clinical. And notice how Jahq could have psychoed Scented, right? He like 100% could have psychoed into his box to go for the refresh, but he knows he doesn't need it. Like there was nothing he could have gained by going to get that refresh besides some materials, and that's not going to win you the game. Staying ahead of zone, getting in a good position is. One thing I love about these guys is there's not really set roles. They both kind of do everything, and it works really, really well in duos, and that's why they're so good. So it's like good awareness to hear the guy taking fall damage on high ground and to go take it yourself. Because there's probably so many teams that hear and see the same thing and then are just like, all right, let's tarp to next zone, full tarp it, and don't even look up, and then the next team gets to walk ahead into high ground. And in my opinion, Jahq and Acorn are two of the best at ending a game. So there's a lot of players that go and make whatever it be, like a hero play, or go and like try and jump in and end the game themselves. These two are one of the best I've ever seen at playing this together and not like solo playing to win the game. I guess it works out. And now this is all but over. This guy has to come take a 2v1 against two of the best players in the world. And then you can bounce her from this position. They had to get away from the pack. You couldn't just sit there in the pack, because then you might get scuffed or caught on your bounce. What? Bro, Riversan just said, peace, thanks for the box, dude, I'm out. And now Zone's continuing to pull. So good, really good use of their old tarps. This is why they're so good on materials right now, is because they've been using their old tarps the best they can and being really efficient on these rotates. So Ozirvo's going for the heal off, Dusky goes for a play, and that Safin stretch that he walks into. But Ozirvo gets it off. That's actually huge. That's why he wins this game. Because that guy decides to walk into Ozirvo and not Saf, he's able to out heal Saf. Because look at the HP. Saf is basically the same HP. Nice, we get zone. And these guys crank up right away. That's really good. Not waiting a second to try and like figure things out. Just immediately as soon as you get zone, we're cranking up and we're holding this. So they get really lucky that zone pulls back and they tarp the entire thing. They definitely should have saved some mats and used a bounce pad to get ahead. And I'm a huge fan as well of the pistol AR combo. I used to like the TAC AR when I was in the game, but especially in trios, you need to split your ammo because there's not, at most POIs, not going to be enough AR ammo for 3 people. Oh. So we're playing heals on Pledge now. And Knifer goes to make a play. Interesting. So this is the first time we've seen a team below Storm Surge that winds up winning a game. I don't think it'll be an issue because this is game 6 and people are going to go down. They're kind of buried here, which is going to make it hard for them to rotate unless zone pulls straight. What is that? East? Straight east or back up this mountain are going to be their 2 good rotates. Any other rotate is going to be death for them. And it goes back up the mountain. There is an open space. So they were moving through all this congestion, and then they finally found an opening and used this bouncer to go ahead and get ahead and save some mats on this rotate. Now they're in zone and vibing. Go check out this entire piece. They should be able to stay on this left side and rotate to zone with little to no pressure. And there's our previous game winner. Ozirvo goes down. And kwah doesn't jump on that. I think a lot of players like see their material count and try and jump on that right away. But he's like, nah, I have no control over that box. You saw another player. Let's not risk that. And it pays off because he then finds another one. He knows he out heals these guys with the floppers. Oh, he actually takes this fight. Interesting. I guess he kind of had to. And then he's going to win the heal off because of that. Wow. Wow. Dude, look at these refreshes Khanada gets with this freaking harpoon. Back to Khanada because he's just nasty with it. And this is something that really good teams do, is go ahead and grab all the space ahead of them in zone before zone actually starts moving. Now we're using this edge of zone again. Just clinical moving zone rotations. One thing these two do really, really well is play almost role-less. Like, there's a lot of times where you see a duo or a trio lose their tarper, or someone else has to take over a tarp, and then it just becomes chaos and everything goes to shit. But these two, and Jahq and Acorn, are two great examples of duos that are role-less. Both of them can do either thing. They're both making calls, feeding information, fragging, tarping, doing whatever it is necessary in order to win this game. So now it's a 2v2v1, and Legedian's coming in, or that's Durant, sorry. Coming in, basically giving them free siphon. Deceptos goes up to make a play. That is a solid play. We'll watch this again. That is a solid play for height right there. So they grab this last box. They hear the fighting. One bounces out. That was sick. He hits both of them with that too. Then Floki comes from the other angle. Oh, he just misses his shots. He just misses the shots. If that would have been a sick play to win the game. Kind of on edge here. We see teams somewhat battling for fifth, but this is a good fifth zone position. Bro, Edgey purposely missing because he knew that was his teammate. Like, what is this? Are they looking for a height play? They are looking for the height play. Using the peps, too. You can't out-crank a pepper. Good luck, Commandment. You ain't doing it. Nice. And that was a good use of the pepper to take high ground. I always thought they would be useful. I haven't necessarily seen someone use a pepper to take high ground. 15 builds here on Edgey, 24 on Riversan. This isn't the cleanest high ground, to be honest. It's the same theme all day. Once you take high ground, after moving zone, you rarely, if ever, get contested. And then it's just free until you have to close out the game. And it's just going to go through a building. And I'm assuming this is like another heal off or something. Oh no, here comes the play. Who is that? I can't see the name. Damn. Clicks and Day. Oh, they almost won. Jeez.